Hey Lauren, nice start here. I like all your elements. The wheel looks great, and so does the roller coaster. So I still think that some work needs to be done to create some unity and also some interest. So you may want to try putting the buildings a little bit closer and doing more of a skyline that looks kind of more like this. Let me see if I can find another one. These are some student examples I was going to show, or something like that. I'm not sure what city this is, so I can't really look, give you much advice on that. And again, you could look for, I posted some tutorials already on how to create a gradient sky. But again, these are all how to create sunsets, and this is kind of too colorful, but the idea is to just get some colors and pull the gradient from light to dark, the lighter colors. And it really will look, it'll just add more to it. That's not a very good one. This looks kind of fancy, but you kind of get the idea of what kind of sky to kind of look for. And again, you don't have to do that. You could just create a blue daytime sky too, and I think that would, that would also work really well, for your piece. This is, I can't really see it, but this is a pretty simple gradient as well. Something even like this is pretty simple, but again, it goes from light to dark is the main idea. So that would be the next suggestion. I would also suggest making, like, you've got these. Let's see, is that selecting the whole one? If you make one of them bigger, it's going to look like it has, more depth. I mean, it's going to be, because it's going to come forward. Bigger, a bigger item comes forward, and the smaller items tend to look further away. So again, you could use that with some of this. You might want to, there's a lot of options you can do for the sky too. You can put, do a little gradient. You could put, some birds or something. I just think there needs to be something up there because it's so much negative space. I know you're going to put your city name in, but it's still going to be, it's only going to be like that big. So you're going to have a lot of other empty space to deal with. I really like your water, but again, if you make these little marks smaller in the background, they're gonna look further away. So, something like this, if it's just made bigger. Well, since you already have all these done, it's gonna, if you make it bigger, it's going to look closer, right? Just because the smaller ones will just always look further away. So yeah, that's about really, you're off to a good start. You just have a lot of little refinements to do. You could even make this one smaller, and then it would even be more, you even have more depth. You might want to make this whole area at the bottom bigger, because this is almost, it doesn't really have much going on in this building area, but it takes up a lot of space. So if you kind of move the whole bottom part up, then you would have more room to add activity in the bottom. Excuse me. You could add some texture to the sand. And again, if you do add texture, be sure to note that texture also has perspective. This is actually, excuse me, actually a drawing, but notice the bigger ripples in the foreground, and then they get smaller and smaller. And I'm not saying to draw these or anything, but just in terms of, your ripples, if you do make the ones, smaller, it will really have more depth. And again, you don't have to have all the color, exact. You could change the color of these if they worked better. And, so that's what I was going to show you, some of these other examples, excuse me, of past student work, just for some ideas here. Excuse me, losing my voice from doing this feedback. But so again, you can see the gradient in the sky. The sun looks pretty good. They kind of overdid, this bottom part, which is kind of too bad, because they didn't need to put the text in. It would be a lot stronger if there was text. And again, note the color in this one's very simple as well. So again, you don't need more than a couple colors. It looks more unified and more professional often with the color. Yeah, she worked really hard on this one. Whoops. So again, you can kind of see they didn't do the gradient right in the sky. And this one too, I mean, note the color. You're not going to see purple buildings, but to make the, to make it work for the poster design, and that's how she did it. It doesn't have to be to scale. This is a good example of kind of a sunset gradient sky. Again, good use of color, nice gradients. And I'm not saying I wouldn't do gradients unless there was a reason. And a sky is a good reason for that. Again, here's a really nice gradient sky. The problem with his is that the dark black text on dark blue doesn't really work. And again, notice how simple this is. What's unifying this is this big kind of firework. And again, this one too. Again, you're not going to see buildings that are blue, the Ferris wheel that's blue, but again, it works in terms of unifying the picture plane and also color. You can add some clouds in the sky of yours too. That would really work as well. So anyway, I hope this feedback helps, and let me know if you have questions. I will be doing some more WebEx meetings, so yeah, let me know if you're interested.